Today we're going to be talking about a ton of awesome things that might be coming into the game soon, and see if they are going to do things like an ancient Egypt area, a jungle area, and more. Now this video is sponsored by Playvig. If you want to get free gift cards or even V-Bucks in actually a legit way, be sure to check out the free app Playvig through the link in the description. Basically how it works, you simply set it up when you're playing and go for quests like this one right here, which is simply win a solo game. After you've completed it, you're awarded coins that you can use in the shop to buy gift cards, games, or even V-Bucks if you want to. Along with that, there's also larger tournaments with larger prize pools, and those are updated a ton. So if you guys want to check it out for free, link down below in the description. It's fully legit, I've used it, and it's a ton of fun. But yeah guys, getting back into the video, so much has been going on the map lately, and since more and more things are going on with the rifts, them disappearing stuff, it makes sense that they might actually be going back in time with the Fortnite map for Season 5 and coming up with a bunch of new points of interest. So that's what we're going to try and guess here and figure out. But overall, should be a super fun video. If you enjoy it, hit that like button down below. It always helps me out so much. You guys have been amazing lately, and along with that, comment what your favorite area is on the map right now, whether it's like Tomato Town or something, or leave a comment of an idea for something that should be in the map coming up soon. But I love hearing what you guys have to say. So without further ado, let's jump on into it right now. And before we even go over like leaks and ideas and stuff like that, let's first talk about the brand new rifts that have shown up, because more and more of them are pointing towards time travel happening on the Season 5 map. The last one I talked about was the one that happened at Lonely Lodge, and obviously if you haven't, checked that one out lately, it's disappeared, but it also took the Lonely Lodge sign with it. That might not seem too huge, but when you put them all together, because there's actually multiple rifts that have shown up, and they're continuing to show up. I believe there's also one that happened at Tomato Town. Obviously the giant tomato guy isn't there anymore because the rift actually made him disappear, and people were actually able to watch it. There was an animation with it disappearing, stuff like that. And also I believe the num sign in Retail Row got evaporated as well. And then I think maybe the Burger Town guy is next. I wasn't able to see that one myself, but I heard a bunch of other people saw it. So basically what I'm saying is they're taking things out of the map, which means to me that they're going to probably be replacing things on the map. I mean, why would they really have any other reason of taking out these pretty big things on the map? And I mean, the sign isn't huge, but it's representing something that's going to be happening soon. The crack in the sky is getting huge, so if these smaller things are disappearing, bigger things are going to disappear, and they're going to be replaced with different things in the future. So that is the basis for my theory, but let's jump into some of the things that I think are going to be replaced on the map. And let's start off with a fun one. This one is called Ruthless Rome, and credit for this idea actually goes to Mauricio Plays on Twitter. I put up a question on Twitter asking for ideas for things that you thought would be in the map, and if you want to be featured in one of these future Twitter polls or questions, just follow me at TheLlamaSir or through the link in the description. But Ruthless Rome would basically be something like, a Roman colosseum. That's the theory that's been going around a little bit, and has also already been something that's been talked about in a few technical leaks by different people. Different people have said they know somebody at Epic Games and say that something to do with ancient Rome is coming into the game. I can't really confirm that that's true, and it kind of seems sketchy to me, so take it with a grain of salt. But it would be pretty cool, and I mean, going back in time, having ancient Rome characters, obviously we had the Black Knight and stuff, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched. I could see some really cool armor designs coming out for skins and stuff, but with that, you would obviously have to have something on the map, so I think a Roman Colosseum would be a very good idea. It could maybe replace the soccer stadium that just came out, even though it hasn't come out very long, but that would be really cool. Replaces it, maybe there is still a soccer game in it, but something like that would be really awesome. And you could also have it be more sandy. We don't have a sandy area on the map yet, so that would be something cool to switch it up. But moving on here to one that I'm almost for sure is going to be happening. I mean, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be really surprised, because there's just so many things pointing towards it, and I just think it could be a cool location on the map. And this location would be called Jurassic Jungle. Now you guys might have an idea of where I'm going with this one, but Jurassic Jungle would be a location that kind of replaces Dusty Divot. It's not like it would completely replace it, but as you guys have seen on the map, when you go to Dusty Divot, and actually more specifically when you went there at different times during the season so far, you'll remember that it started out completely barren. There was nothing in it besides the meteor and the buildings around it, but then every week or so, more trees and grass started to show up, and as it is right now, it's actually getting a little bit crazily overgrown. So my theory here is that this is going to continue to to happen, stuff is going to continue to grow around this area, and it's going to make like this big, huge jungle that I came up with the name Jurassic Jungle for, because I'm hoping it would be like a rainforest type area. Now, why then would that be a cool area to fight in? Well, just imagine like Wailing Woods, but even crazier, like more vegetation on the ground itself. It's a little bit harder to see people in it. The trees are closer together, and actually a good reference for this would be the forests that are near the, I think, Fatal Fields, but when you go in there, it's like really crowded, so just imagine that, but even bigger. It would be a pretty interesting area to fight in. So I'm just imagining you're like running through, you hear footsteps far away, but you can't see the person yet, so you kind of have to like sneak through. I don't know about you guys, but that does sound like a ton of fun. So Jurassic Jungle would make sense as something that's coming into the game. So Epic, I'm on to you here. I know what's gonna happen. But after that, then let's move on to one that as of right now is just an idea, but it would honestly be super cool. So this one has been thrown around a little bit, and I think credit goes to Call Me Jimmy on Reddit. I think he's one of the first people that kind of came up with this idea. But basically this would be like a shipwrecked area or like a shipwrecked shore. And personally, I think I would call it like Captain's Cove or something like that. Just basically what it would be is like a pirate's cove on one of the edges of the map. So for example, like this idea came about and would be like over on this area right here where there's a big opening in the water. But the idea was to put something down there like a beach, like maybe, you know, town that you would see in like Pirates of the Caribbean and like the rock wall. Something like that actually leads like off the side of the map. And then you could also have like pirate ships in the water, which would be tough because if you touch the water, you know, you get eliminated. So that would maybe be a little bit unlikely. And also, I mean, the island is so high up, the cliffs on the side, it would be pretty hard to make like a beach down there and actually make it, you know, look like something. So, you know, maybe instead they add like a brand new lake where it's like a mini pirate bay and you only have like one pirate ship in the lake. I don't know, but seeing like a pirate town would be like super sick, and I think it could be a fun idea. And also seeing like pirate skins, that would fit with Fortnite so well. So hopefully we see something like that, but I think it could be a cool idea. But after that, guys, let's move into another thing that is leaked and almost for sure confirmed to be a new point of interest on the map. Again, I can't say 100% that it is confirmed, but I'm pretty sure that it is going to be coming soon. And why do I say that? Well, because new models have actually been found in the game's files. Now, I'm not going to show you the models themselves because they obviously are early, and there's also a slight chance they could be from Save the World. So yeah, but credit to this goes to Tapohi FL on Twitter, but he leaked a bunch of things that seem to do with a brand new school area. And I know that's not as crazy as some of the ideas coming up, but a brand new school area is interesting. It's not exactly in the past, but it is a brand new location. Now, some theories were that it would show up in like Retail Row, maybe some of the other places like Tomato Town, maybe that needs a school, but it would be a fairly interesting location because it would be pretty large, have a ton of loot in it, have some pretty open spaces as well as like cramped hallways, and would kind of be similar to like the jail. I'm not saying that like school's like jail, but I feel like it would have a similar type feel to that. But either way, guys, what do you think about that? Does that sound fun? Does that sound kind of weird? Either way, there's stuff in the files for that potentially, so I thought I'd let you guys know. Now, speaking about locations that were leaked, let's go on to another location that basically has a high likelihood of coming into the game because more files and like 3D models were found for stuff that would relate to this new area coming into Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, again, they're not confirmed. These could be something for, you know, I don't even know. Maybe Save the World. But if they are true, that would mean that a brand new Wild West area would be coming to the map. So we've talked about this a little bit before, but like files were found in the game for a ton of assets by Cross Fortnite Leaks on Twitter, and it points towards a location like this maybe replacing Anarchy Acres or Fatal Fields. And when you put it that way, it seems so likely. Like, why do we need two farms that are basically the same exact thing and basically some of the biggest area on the map that people don't really go to? So instead, why not replace one of those with an old western town, like Wild West type town that you'd see in movies back in the day? Have like a saloon, have different buildings, like an old shop for different things. You'd have like tumbleweeds moving across the map and it'd be a little bit sandy. I mean, that would be so cool. And honestly, it wouldn't even be that hard for Epic to change things around a little bit. I mean, the farms already have the fences that look like that. Some of the houses and buildings even look like stuff. They've even got that windmill that looks like it's from the Wild West. There's so much going for it that I think this one is super likely. Expect it to happen, and if it doesn't happen, Epic would have pulled a pretty good prank on us there. But moving on to another one that's kind of just an idea, but actually now that I'm thinking about it, I think somebody technically said something about it in a quote-unquote leak that I don't really trust. Again, it was just like a text document of somebody saying they knew what was going on at Epic Games and that this was coming. But either way, I still think it's a likely idea because we are probably going to be going back in time. So why not, if we're doing that, go to the Great Pyramids? That's right. Now, the only real connection explanation we have for this being an idea is that random quote-unquote leak again, and also just because I think it would be cool to have that white lion that's in front of the soccer stadium turn into the Sphinx or something like that. I don't know, I think that'd be pretty funny, and then you could maybe change the soccer stadium into like 2 pyramids. Reloads on Twitter had the idea to call it parallel pyramids if you have 2 of them out there, and that would also maybe replace the Colosseum, one or the 2. But having that in like the sandstone bricks, and maybe you could go inside the pyramid and there'd be set up traps in there that maybe change around every single game. But also if you go through like the challenges and mazes inside of there, there's like super good loot at the very center. You gotta admit, that would be a pretty fun thing to have. But then along with that, I've talked about it before, but if we have a different biome, like a desert biome, and you have cactuses, and there's not a ton of materials around, so you do have to be careful going there, it would switch it up a little bit because basically you do already have a ton of trees around the map. You never go somewhere and have to be careful about making sure you have enough materials. So that would switch it up a little bit. The idea itself is pretty cool, and I think it has a chance of coming in. But as for the final idea I have for a location on the map, this one would be maybe a replacement for the thing for Pirates Cove, or Captain's Cove as I called it. That area on the side of the map that is really weird and kind of a waste of space a little bit. But instead of maybe having a Pirates Bay and you have to mess around with going downwards to the Pirates Bay, what if instead we had a Vikings Bay? And then you could even call it Berserk Bay. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically it would be something straight out of How to Train Your Dragon. I'm talking the weird shaped cliffs. You have to like take rope bridges across to get to the different islands. The cliffs are like really sharp and jagged and go up a ton. And like here's some images on screen. You could have like cliff faces and then have like trails going down the side and loot on the side. I don't know, again, I'm just spitballing here, trying to come up with some fun ideas, but I think the idea of having these separate islands in that area, and I think somebody talked about this a little bit before, and then having it Viking themed, that would be so dope. And in fact, a video game that did something similar was Black Ops 3. They had a map that I think was actually called Berserk, and it had this idea going for it. You had like the rope bridges across. It was a pretty fun map to play on, but having something like that in Fortnite where you could maybe build bridges even, cross bridges, and have to worry about falling off the edge of the map, that would switch things up so much and be a really fresh idea to come into the game. And then of course you have dragons that you can ride around the map. I'm kidding, but I don't know, that could happen. We've had freaking shopping carts, freaking stink bombs. I mean, dragons aren't that far-fetched when it comes to Fortnite. I think they could implement it in a cool way. But yeah guys, that is going to be it for my ideas. Be sure to leave yours down below in the comments, as well as hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel for more videos like this coming out in the near future. Along with that, you can check out my previous videos such as the week 10 challenges guide on the left and another fun video on the right. But other than that guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one.